Bonjour, Emil.
Bonjour, Mike. All good?
Well, you're in some idyllic setting there, Mr. Emil. I can see some lovely vineyards or vines behind you. Welcome
It's
this evening.
it's not a back screen. It's a real one.
I can see. Hello, folks in Abu Dhabi, and welcome to the next session of the online tasting. And I have the great pleasure of introducing Emil Lacamp from Champagne Lanson. And he, as you can see, folks, is in this wonderful idyllic vineyard with some trees there, and he's going to do the tasting outside. Because I believe that the weather is quite clement there at the moment.
I don't know. It's pretty. Let's see how it gets.
Good. So Emil is the area manager for the Middle East and represents Champagne Lanson out of France. And he'll do a little bit of an intro now on the Champagne brand. And we will do the usual tasting. We've got 2 champagnes tonight. So we've got the Le Black Creation, formerly the Black Label, and Le Rosé Creation to taste. So without further ado, folks, hope you enjoy this evening. A touch of elegance with champagne tonight. And I will pass over to Emil to do an intro of himself and the winery. And we'll go from there. Okay, Emil, take it away.
Thanks, Mike. So I'm Emil. I've been working for Lanson for 3 years. I'm in charge of Latin America, Africa, and Middle East. Here we are in the nice vineyard. If it's not raining, we'll see. Of Clos Lanson. Clos Lanson is 1 hectare we have in the middle of Reims. Champagne area, we have 2 big cities, that is Reims and Épernay. We are based in Reims since 1760, so more than 260 years. We've been one of the first companies to make rosé wine, the one you're going to try, in 1833. But we've also been part of many important moments of France, like the inauguration of the Eiffel Tower in 1889. And you can see, I'm not sure how it's going to be, but windy in the vineyards. We are here in a year that was pretty good until now. And this week, we had a tough week with a lot of rain, but good for now with a lot of wind. So the vineyards are very healthy, and we hope for a great year. So let's get started, Mike.
Well, I mean, a little bit more about the winery itself. What characteristics do you have? I mean, I believe you're more of a Pinot Noir dominant winery.
So Lanson, as I said, is based in Reims. We are next to the Montagne de Reims that is south from here, where you have the majority of the Grand Cru and Premier Cru. In Champagne, we divide three types of area: the Grand Cru area, the Premier Cru area, and the other ones. And we have three types of grapes: so the Pinot Noir, the Chardonnay, and the Pinot Meunier. So we are a company based on Pinot Noir, as you said, Mike. Our history is based on Pinot Noir. We are a family. The family Lanson was a family of hunters. So at that time, it was very important to have a bit fuller bodied wine. And so the Pinot Noir brought this. But of course, today our lema and our style is everything around freshness. We are a winery that do a very traditional way of fermenting wines. So very high acidities in general.
You don't,
And yeah,
you don't practice malolactic, right? Because you want the
yeah,
fruitiness and the freshness in the champagnes. If I,
exactly. We don't talk too much about malolactic because it can be a bit difficult for everyone to understand. But basically, a malolactic fermentation is a fermentation that is natural, but that transforms acidity, malic acidity, and lactic acidity, basically from apple to milk. So in our case, we don't do it. We block it to keep more freshness. And Mike, lately, everyone in the Champagne area is getting back to this more traditional way of making wine because it keeps more the freshness.
yeah, I
So,
mean,
so that's a bit where we're
stylistically,
going.
stylistically, if you think about where you drink champagne, those occasions that you drink champagne, you're looking for that uh, fruit profile and
Freshness.
through the acidity, right?
Yeah, and not only that, but we also have the thing is the acidity. With the change of temperature and the global warming, the acidity we're looking for is to keep this freshness. We need more acidity. And you can see it start raining here.
This is the classic
This
for.
is this is the live one. So I'm under a tree. It will still go well.
Okay, well, you're live online here, so this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the trials and tribulations of live action.
That's
So,
yeah, exactly.
in terms of Lanson as a brand,
Yeah,
your production is from Premier Cru and Grand Cru sites, right? Predominantly.
yeah. Not only, but majority is Premier Cru, Grand Cru. We own 70 hectares, and we need around 350 to produce. In these 70 hectares, majority of Premier Cru, Grand Cru. Yeah. And you can see it's even worse, Mike. We even have how do you call it? Ice cubes falling,
Oh yeah, hailstones. Wow,
hailstone. So
live.
let's see what that will be on the vineyard.
You are underneath the canopy there, so you'll be safe.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see how long I'll be safe, but for now I'm safe.
Another thing I think which is quite useful is your associations with the royal family and Wimbledon. If you want to elaborate for our.
Yeah, yeah. We've been very close to Wimbledon for 50 years now. So we have a partnership with Wimbledon for 50 years. Very important for us. Hey, Mike, I think I'm gonna get inside. If not, I'm gonna get.
Sorry, folks.
You can hear the lightning.
Okay.
No, but it's stopping. Let's see.
Okay.
But anyway, we've been with Wimbledon for 50 years, so very important partnership for us. And yeah, we still have 5 more years of contract, and we'll see how it goes. But we are very close to England in general. We've been provider of the royal family for more than 100 years, 124 actually. So longest partnership with the royal family. But yeah. So very important market for us, the UK, first market in the world, and we keep this close relationship and partnership with the UK. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna say in terms of production here, you can see. I think it's important to see to tell the folks if I need to get in, but at least they can see it. Here we have a 1 hectare of Pinot Noir only. We are based in Reims. we are actually at the production site of the company. We have four places where we receive wines, and one where we ferment and produce the actual wine. So this is the production site. We have 8 kilometers of underground galleries or tunnels where we stock our bottles. And it's very funny, Mike, because when you come here the first time, you walk into these tunnels and you really think, how is it possible that it's still in use? But it's really true that we keep all our bottles under the ground in these tunnels.
I concur with you there, Emil, because unfortunately it was with another champagne brand. I had the privilege of walking the tunnels and
Yeah,
experiencing it. And absolutely, you're right. Even the riddling, they had an example of doing the old hand riddling rather than machine riddling, and
yeah,
I, I got to see it. And absolutely, it's a very, very interesting piece of the champagne history and experience. Is the storage tunnels, their natural habitat for storing product.
yeah, exactly. And another interesting fact of our production site is that here we are in a hill, and so I'm actually over. I'm standing over our tunnels, and that's one of the first wineries to have that. It's very genius for that time. It was 1850 something when we started to produce here, where actually the tunnels are at the level of the street down there. So we have these tunnels in the hill, so it could get out without needing to get up, like in other
Yeah, I see.
champagne houses.
Very
So
clever.
very clever way of thinking for that time.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like in a nutshell, one of the oldest wineries, 1760,
yeah.
uh, Pinot Noir dominant house. And you do all the classic styles, I presume. You do the Brut, the Rosé, the Vintage,
So
the
so so we do the brut, the vintage, the rosé, and the sweet, and the blanc de blanc, and all these different kinds of products you can hear. It's now we have a lot of bad weather coming, but anyway, it's important for us the
Right,
vintages also.
I just want to mention one thing. We've got a comment screen that's come
Yeah,
up. Leave your
yeah.
questions, and your name now is Olga. And apologies for that, because Olga was the lady that did the tasting beforehand. So
Okay.
anybody who would like to leave a question, it is actually Emil, and it is not Olga.
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
sorry, go on,
No,
Emil.
so,
Yeah.
so, so, so I was saying vintages for us is a very important product itself because we are one of the houses with the biggest amount of old vintages. And that's very curious, Mike, because everyone knows champagne for the non-vintage, for the brut and the rosé, very easy drinking and festive wines. But we also produce a lot of vintages that are usually comes just in good years, just from Grand Cru, Premier Cru, let's say a bit better areas. And for us, it's very important because we have more than 500,000 bottles inside our cellars um, of all vintages until 1904. So we have one of the nicest library of old vintages in Champagne. So it's worth seeing it.
One day, hopefully, I will be there when all of
And one
this.
day,
What?
hopefully, we can taste it together.
Absolutely, Emil. Absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think, look, let's get to the tasting. I think you have a bottle
Okay.
and a glass somewhere in your vineyard there.
Here.
Just to show the consumers that we will be tasting the Black Creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Le Black
So
Creation, which is the house's entry brut style, right? Correct?
yeah. So you can see here the Black Creation. The Black Creation was founded. The name Black was in the 1950s. Black because we are a house again of Pinot Noir, so very easy. And it was actually it's our brut non-vintage, but it was named first for the British market once again. So black English for the black grape that is the Pinot Noir. So it's a wine based on Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Pinot Meunier, the three grapes of Champagne, but mostly more than 50% of Pinot Noir. Um, Very interesting because of more half of the product or more than 50% is Premier Cru Grand Cru, so from the best vineyards. It's only cuvée. You know, when you have in Champagne, very important to say when you receive the grapes, you press them, and you have three types of wines coming out. So you have the cuvée, the taille A, taille B. So the first press only, and we leave it on the lease for at least 4 years for the complexity. But also, as we mentioned, Mike, because of our ancestor way of fermenting that is not using the malolactic. So we have to get the acidity a bit more integrated to the wine. So here, when you'll taste the wine, you'll find a lot of notes of fresh fruit, especially apple, pear, this kind of notes, and a lot of very nice acidity. So freshness, and actually the lemma of the house is release the freshness. So it's a lot of freshness and very nice complexity due to this long aging. And so we have
So
complexity, acidity.
with the aging,
Sorry.
sorry, Emil,
Yeah,
you as a house, Lanson,
yeah,
you tend to, there are rules and regulations in terms of minimum requirements, correct?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but you go beyond
Yeah.
that, you extend,
Okay.
correct?
Exactly. About the minimum aging in Champagne, it's 18 months for the non-vintage and 4 years for the vintages. Okay. So we are at 4 years for the non-vintage. Okay, and at least 8 years for the vintages.
Why do you do that? Why is it almost like that's quite a lot more than
Yeah,
normal? Certainly for non.
it's and as I was saying, we have all our wines are without malolactic, so we have very high acidity, and this acidity, with time goes down, and so we prefer champagnes with very thin bubbles. So when you're tasting this wine right now, you'll see very thin bubbles. So you have two things happening with time: is the bubbles integrating to the wine, and also the acidity lowering a bit with aging. But at the same time, as we leave it still with the cork and the yeast, and not disgorge, we have this very nice. It's very young wine, right, actually. And
Even after that
yeah,
aging.
exactly. So
And
this black
how long is-
creation.
Sorry,
Sorry.
go on. Go on.
No, so this black creation is perfect to start a meal. So you chill it around 8 to 12, depends on where. Well, if you're outside at Abu Dhabi, more 8 because it's gonna get warm. But if you are in France in this rain, you can have room temperature. It's fine. uh, but yeah, it's you have to have chill it, but not too much because you can lose all these flavors. Um, and yeah, it goes perfectly for the to start a meal, or with oysters, or with sushi, or this kind
White
of
meats,
dishes.
white fish,
What white fish, but on
fish, and
on a fish, or I'll go with something else. But yeah, on a white fish, very delicate. Yeah, sure.
yeah,
And
yeah. What about
just getting sorry.
shellfish?
Shellfish could go well, but no sauce special, no, creamy sauce that could go bad.
Mhm.
Okay, and something important about the name Black Creation. We changed that name some years ago, as you know, um, and the creation comes from the fact that each year, as when you produce an unvintage, you'll have a different, let's say, recipe every year, and the name creation comes for us to have in catalog every year we are producing. because every year is going to be different. As you know, Mike, one year you have rain like now, one year you have sun, one year you have bad production, good production, and this will change the recipe because the non vintages are made to be very alike every year. So the idea of the creation is for you to see that every year will have a different recipe, and you can find the recipe on the back label. So how much reserve wine we're using, how much Pinot Noir, how much Chardonnay, which villages, and so on.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think for the sort of simple analogy there,
yeah,
when you make your champagne year on year, you're using a blend of grapes and a blend of
yeah,
vintages.
yeah,
And if you think about I suppose, a cocktail mixologist that produces a cocktail in a bar, they're using different ingredients to come up with a same style or same
yeah,
drinks. And this is what you are doing in your black creation, right? Is
yeah, exactly.
coming up with a consistent style for the house, but playing around with the vintages, the grapes, and the weather, essentially,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, so it's a skillful thing. These winemakers in the vineyards, they are not just eating and tasting wine, eating grapes and tasting wine. They're doing a very important role.
Yeah, and if you have the occasion one day, I mean, for all everyone that's listening and you, Mike, to try the base wine before we do the second fermentation. Very interesting because very high acidity and a wine that is 9% of alcohol, not finished wine, and to manage to think, okay, well, gonna blend all these different still wine, put sugar and yeast, put bubbles, so we get bubbles and get 2% of alcohol more, and to imagine what's the result, it's an amazing skill.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, Emil,
Yeah.
let's move to the
Yeah.
rosé. Okay,
So
and let's have a description on le rosé creation.
so you can see the rosé création.
Yeah,
So the rosé création, we launched it this year or last year. Sorry, the idea was to do the same concept as the black création. So to do one every year, to change it every year, uh, and we have a very similar base wine. So 50% of Pinot Noir, 35 Chardonnay, and 15 Meunier. Actually, a little bit more of Pinot Noir, 52, 53, depends on the years. In this wine, we have 5 to 7% of red wine. Okay, so we are the only region in France where we can add red wine to the white wine to create a rosé. Okay, this red wine comes basically from Grand Cru areas of Champagne, and these Grand Cru areas are majorly or only Pinot Noir. We cannot make Pinot Meunier in Grand Cru area. So Pinot
so
Noir, let's say to make it simple, Pinot Noir from Grand Cru that are red wines that we add in this rosé. Okay.
okay,
And so in terms of reserve wine, we only use rosé reserve wine. That's very specific from our style. And all this again is to come back to the freshness. All this gives us a lot of freshness, no malolactic, and longer aging. Here you'll find more taste of red red fruits, like often in the rosé wine, but in this case, much more fresh. Like fresh strawberry, fresh red fruits, and still have some very nice notes of how can you say, a little bit toasty at the end, but very nice freshness. Always based on the freshness. Very nice acidity.
okay, okay,
And
and
here what I prefer uh, pairing it with is the is it's like all these how do you say in English, the uh, desserts, all the
dessert.
desserts, desserts
Pair
very
this. sweet foods. Sweet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's my personal opinion.
What about again,
But
like prawns and salmon and
yeah, it goes very well with fishes, as you said, a bit more condimented fishes, not only uh, not only dry or without any condiment. It can go a little bit more with stronger, and even pork sometimes. So yeah,
so the rosé stylistically, the flavor profile then,
yeah.
when we talk about the red fruits, the red wine being integrated, etc. Um, from a fruitiness level and a textural level, is this more of a food friendly wine than the black creation?
I wouldn't say more or less. I would say more versatile. The rosé can be it's let's say if you don't want to make any mistake, go with the rosé.
Yeah, I see.
You know,
So
it
it's a
goes very
wonderful.
well for aperitif, for starter,
Yeah,
for dessert, for meal. It's much easier to pair.
yeah, got it. Okay,
But
great.
but the black or the vintage or all this can have better pairing. Let's say more thin, but the rosé is it's more versatile.
Yeah, versatile. Yes.
Versatile. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Do we have any questions from anybody out there before we close down? We're literally on the money with 7:30, half an hour. Half an hour. We
Just,
designed these shorter,
just,
etc.
just it's nice to see for everyone. We are in a nice period where the grapes are arriving step by step. So
We are talking about May, so we're in the early journey of ripening. Correct?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And
So we are
harvest.
actually so actually we are at a very sensitive period. You saw that well it stopped, so it's fine. But it's a sensitive period where we cannot have disease and all that.
Harvest is now later, September-ish.
September, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
late September. Usually it was late August. Now it can be late September and October even. And
yeah.
for curiosity, for the vintage lovers, the last vintage that was old style is the 2013, where the harvest was very early, and I like it very much. But it's a vintage you have to keep in your cellar for years and
For a
years.
long time. Yeah. On that note, before we finish, just very quickly, aging capability of both champagnes once you receive it.
So for Lanson, we are lucky because of the style of fermentation we're doing. We can keep them longer. For these two ones that you're trying, I would say the Rosé 7 and the Black 10 years. But of course, they are made to be
Yeah,
being drinking now,
yeah.
but they can be aged. Actually, I tried a Magnum of Black Label at that time from 95, and it was perfect.
Wonderful.
So yeah, no problem. That's because of the way we're
Yeah,
fermenting the wines.
the aspects that we spoke about earlier. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, listen. Thank you very much, Emil, from a wet sweat
Wet.
vineyard. At one stage, I
Sorry,
thought
sorry about that. I didn't. I ordered sun, but it changed in the middle.
I thought at one stage I was going to see you with hailstones cracking on your head and
No,
water
no, no.
dripping on your shoulders there and stuff.
I'm
So
pretty dry. I'm pretty dry still.
pretty dry. Well, I thought it was a really nice touch being in the vineyards and showing us the vines and being part with nature there because essentially all wines come from nature. So
Yep. And
great.
just one interesting last fact. Here we are in a biodynamic vineyard, so you can see that we just turned the
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 soil.
the soil, but we are not treating anything, and we
Yeah,
even have in the end there some production of honey and stuff like that. So yeah,
amazing.
interesting. Yeah,
All right. Well, thanks again, Emil, for your time and talking us through those two lovely champagnes. And hopefully, folks at home, you've had some nice insights into Champagne Lanson, a global brand and a well-respected and known brand, as I said, globally. So with its association to the royal family, to Wimbledon, etc., etc. So once again, thanks again, Emil. Take care.
Thanks, Mike.
For last point for folks, the next session that will be coming along will be wonderful Malbecs from Bodegas Mendel Wines, which is on June the 3rd at 7 p.m. So without further ado, thanks again, Emil. Merci beaucoup.
See you, Mike. Au revoir.
Everyone. Ciao, ciao. See
Bye.
you later.